Hi guys, we're going to talk about thesis statements. In case you don't know what a thesis statement is, a thesis statement should show exactly what your paper will be about and will help you to keep your paper to a manageable topic. In other words, it should be very focused. It should be very specific and focused on exactly what it is you are trying to prove with your paper. The thesis statement will usually come at the end of your introductory paragraph. So let me give you an example of one. If you were writing a paper about Jimi Hendrix, so if you know who Jimi Hendrix is, he's a famous guitarist from the 60s. He changed the sound of rock guitar. If you were writing a sentence on how Jimi Hendrix changed the sound of rock guitar, your thesis statement might look like this. Jimi Hendrix changed the sound of rock guitar by using distortion and feedback which had never been incorporated in music before. So this is a strong statement because it narrows the subject to a very specific and manageable topic, and it also identifies the specific ways he changed the sound of rock guitar. So essentially you're telling me, giving me the person, what they did, and how they did it. Another example, if you're writing a paper about Thomas Jefferson and how he helped change the life of all Americans, your thesis statement might look like this. With his masterful writing of the Declaration of Independence, Thomas Jefferson planted the seeds of change for all Americans. So you're telling me who, what he did, and then what its effect was, or how it, what change it made. To create these two examples, I used a simple formula. There's two of them. They're essentially the same, except that they just rearranged the way these things are laid out in the sentence. So let me show you that formula. For the first one, it is someone or something, if you're writing about a thing, if you were, did something, right? And because of it, something happened. They did something by doing something, and it caused, this change. Let me show you specifically what I mean. So if you're looking at, what the someone or something, well, in this first, look at the top here, there's Jimi Hendrix sentence. Someone or something, the someone or something is Jimi Hendrix. He did something. Well, he changed the sound of rock guitar. And then by doing what? By using distortion and feedback, which had never been incorporated in music before. So you can see the formula. Someone, Jimi Hendrix, did something. He changed the sound of rock guitar by, sometimes you might have because he did this, but in this case it's by using feedback and distortion, which had never been incorporated in music before. This second sentence, the Thomas Jefferson one, is very similar. I'm just rearranging the way that it's laid out, using a different formula. In this one, we're just putting the reasons first, the person or thing second, and then what they did. So in other words, the reasons. With his masterful writing of the Declaration of Independence, that's how he did something, or by some way. The someone, Thomas Jefferson, did something. Well, he planted the seeds of change for all Americans. So you're going to try this tomorrow in class. So you should know who you're writing about, then think about what did they do, and then how they did it. Let's look at a different way to do this. If for some reason this is confusing to you, you can try this other method. 3 steps. 1, think about your topic. Identify the person who has changed the world in some way and prove that they have changed the world. Right? That's our topic. In this example, I'm going to use this famous skateboarder. His name is Tony Alva, one of the pioneers of extreme sports and skateboarding. So that's the first step. Identify your topic. Secondly, turn your topic into a question. Some of you have used this method before, perhaps. So if this is what your paper will talk about, what question you're going to answer? Well, in this particular case, the question you might ask yourself is, how did Tony Alva change the world of skateboarding? Because don't forget, that's our topic. How did someone, make some major change that affected the world in some way? So, the question, how did Tony Alva change the world of skateboarding? And then the answer, you'll answer that question you've written by using specific details from your research. And the result should be a strong thesis statement. So, to answer that question, how did Tony Alva change the world of skateboarding? You see this example here. Tony Alva, because he was the first to ever catch air in a pool, changed the world skateboarding by pushing its limits and creating a blueprint for all extreme sports athletes that would come after him. So, you're answering the question, how did he change the world of skateboarding? Well, because he was the first person to ever catch air in a pool, he completely changed skateboarding by pushing the limits and creating, this sort of new blueprint for all extreme sports that would come in the future. All right, so those are two methods. There's the ask a question and answer it method, and the formula where you tell me the person, what did they do, and how did they do it. So tomorrow in class, like I said, we'll be trying this together. You need to come in prepared with your topic, your person, and think about specifically what did they do, what did they change, and what was it that they did that made that change. All right, we'll give it a shot tomorrow.